All right. So, um, one of the mistakes that I have made, because I can only talk about the mistake that I have made. And I won't tell you that I will still not make more mistakes. I will still make more mistakes. But one thing about mistake is that once you make mistake and you are able to discover that you made mistake, it means you are getting better. Because if you are making mistake and you keep on making the mistake, you will still have a lot to learn. So one of the major mistakes that I think entrepreneurs does is this, is that, especially how we also relate it to Finland, is that I find out that oftentimes we limit ourselves by trying to project what our business is all about and center it around our own community only. Like, say, for example, one primary mistake that I made was that when I started my company, I kept on reaching out to Nigerians in general. Oh, can you come and assist me? Can we do this? Can we do that? Oftentimes, some of them will say yes. They won't show up. Because before I decided I want to register my company, I did my thesis with a musical live concert. 2 days before the event, everybody pulled out. They are now had to run to the music school in Finland to provide me with people that we only used 1 day to rehearse, and the whole concert was a flop. I won't lie to you. That was a mistake I made. I could have throw it out to even people that I don't know. Then they will jump on board and say they will jump on board. Actually, they will add more value to it. Because anybody that join you, don't push yourself to people. Throw your work out there, make it open, and try to see if people will come on board. Because sincere people are actually the one that will come on board. That's the number one mistake that I think is a common mistake that most entrepreneurs make. Enlarge your mentality, enlarge your. Yenny says something that is all about people. Don't only limit it to your people, open it up. Also, engage the local. We are in Finland. You can't. There's nothing we can do about that. The locals are very important too. Engage them as well, and don't only limit yourself to Finland. Also, see beyond Finland, because Finland is a small community, especially for what I do. So that's one common mistake I think entrepreneurs make.
Okay, when you say entrepreneurs from Africa.
Not just Africa. It's general. They I think they, guys they can relate. I think so.
Is it immigrant entrepreneurs or foreign entrepreneurs or because we have Finnish, I don't think Finnish entrepreneurs experience the same challenges as
They do.
immigrant entrepreneurs. Not all maybe.
No, actually, it's not all. Some entrepreneurs get it right from the beginning because they've done their studies well. Even Finnish community, because the thing is, if they don't open their market up for foreigners, that is the area where they are making the same mistake also. So, do you understand what I mean by that now? Yeah.
Okay. Daniel, some common mistakes you made about.
Yeah. Thank you, Karate, for sharing. I think I agree with you, and I would like to add. Actually, there are many problems that an entrepreneur can make. So I think that we can somehow categorize the problems that an entrepreneur can make. For example, by the stage of that entrepreneur, if he's a new entrepreneur, or he is just starting out for like a couple of years, or he has been doing business for many years. So at a different stage of his business, he will have different types of problem. Mm. So for me, I think one of the problem for new entrepreneur, like the one who had just starting out the business, uh, they uh, they will have to do uh, uh, they will need to do a lot of things on by themselves, like in the beginning. Yeah. uh, This is very understandable because in the beginning we ourselves don't have a lot of resource, so we always need to try to work hard to compensate for all of the lack of resource. Uh, but over time, when let's say that when the business is growing and the business gets more clients, for example, more customers, then it's important that the entrepreneurs need to realize that they cannot do everything all by themselves. Yeah, and they will need to increase their capacity. They will need to hire more people. They will need to make investment that will bring more return on investment. I think this is one of the problems that entrepreneurs usually make when they go from a solo entrepreneur and then the business their business is growing at one point, but they still think that I can handle everything all by myself. So this is but if you rethink about it, it's not about how much money you spend, but it's let's say that you spend 1,000 euro, but you can make 1,200 euro, so you can still make a profit. Yeah. So yeah, and from this point, I want to expand a little bit about what if you cannot do everything all by yourself. Yeah, you can reach out for your network, and this again highlights the importance of having a network, supportive people who are there for you, and you can reach out to them for help when you need it. Yeah, let's say that you have a you take a project, but you cannot do everything of that project, so you cannot say yes to the client. Now you rethink, you can collaborate with another friends or another entrepreneurs or another business, and now you can take and you can do that project better. So that's a win-win situation, and that's also the power of network, knowing the right people. No.
Oh yeah, thanks very much, Minna. Actually, I have my own some tässä muistiinpanot. So my golden lines of being and to start before you start, their few advice and principles need to be well before you success. Is like be consistent, olla johdonmukainen for something. When you have decide to start do something, just go. Don't change. Yes, don't change. Yeah. So and also you have to keep your promise. Like if you promise with your partner that I will pay you that much or we will share that much these benefits, we have to do it. So keep your words also and be equal to everyone, also to the people you don't like, also treat them equally. And keep good reputation of yourself and being reliable. People have to trust you. And keep feeling and sense separate. This is what when we make business, when we start, we think, oh my God, it's very good. We have to do it, and you very hurried to start something, but keep sense, big sense, and just thinking the issue that just don't make it in under the feeling. So these principles, if it's right, so you can start very well. Before you start, you have to know that already. Business is usually done with sense, not with feeling. But many people they utilize feelings very much. Like when they sell you some products, okay, they use your feeling that you will become that and you will become well, or you become more beautiful if you use this product, whatever is used feeling. But if we can separate the feeling and sense ourselves, we can make business to the other people who don't know, who cannot separate feeling and sense. Yeah, these few principles. Yes, thank you very much. I'll just few step. Now this is my first part.
Thank you so much. And now, Mr. Yeah, Mr. Yusuf, some challenges
Well,
from African point of view.
you want me to be specific
Please. Please.
Yeah, it's been a tough time, I would say. Like, even I always like to use myself as an example of any advice or things that I want to point out. And then, well, most of the entrepreneurs, like even like me, what uh what the challenges that I've been facing, personally, and what I see around is, you know, as an entrepreneur, you are creative, you're you bring out like solutions for the challenges around you. And what I see most entrepreneurs do is, of course, they will tell you, oh yeah, you need to do this, you need to set your business up, you need to do everything. But what they do is they set them up. You create your website, you create all the nice, feed on your Instagram, on your Twitter, and everything. But what do you do? Most of the entrepreneurs just wait and don't do anything, and they feel the customers are gonna come in just like that. So in that aspect, I feel entrepreneurs most of the time they sit down and feel like the customer will come because they have the solution. Like, I can do this, I can do that, but what do? They sit down. So what in that aspect, what I would say is, entrepreneurs. Or should we talk later about the solution, or should I? Yeah. Okay. Let me just point out at this level. Let me point out the common mistakes. So the first one is they set up their business solutions and everything, but they don't go for the customers. They feel the customers will always be the one to come and ask for what they have to offer. And also, what I have here, like the lack of pulling back in networking, in which I think Daniel also mentioned of that, like not networking enough. Most of the entrepreneurs do network because it's one of the, when you want to start your business, they always say network. Make sure you network. So, networking, but not enough. So that is one of the things I also feel most of the entrepreneurs do. They always say like knowing people uh, is always like one of the key thing to some future solution that you might need. So, and then um, another thing I have noted here is a lack of creativity. So yeah, I think most of our, like even me, I'm not creative enough. So I think it's a journey. Uh, So we always face challenges. There will always be things we are not doing enough. So uh, self awareness is one of the key things to that. Being humble and observing the environment also can be of help. So lack of creativity is one of the key things. Not being creative enough. I mean, it's just enough. We are not doing enough. One of the those are the thing I most of my point is all about. So, and also lack of the last one I have is lack of mind, like proper mindset. You know, like for example, people entrepreneurs we always like, oh, I need to save money. Yeah, they don't like. They're like, oh yeah, that's photography is quite expensive. That website is quite expensive. We can't afford it. You understand? But although they do have the money, they have the capital, they have the loans they've acquired, but the lack of the mindset of saving, is one of the challenges that I feel most entrepreneurs have. Rather having an investment mindset, they are having a saving mindset, which is one of the thing that I've also experienced. I could remember when I was setting up a solution, and then like for musician, the website was really like consuming a lot of money. When you talk about the domain, renewing your domain, your hosting every month and everything, I was like, oh my God, am I gonna do this? You understand? I was feeling that I should maybe start looking for a cheaper domain, or no, sorry, a cheaper service, a cheaper this, a cheaper that. But I said, well, if this is serving me well, why can't I just have that mindset that I'm gonna just be investing on this until the return start to come. You understand? So the mindset, the saving mindset, is one of the thing I feel most entrepreneurs and small businesses do have. So rather they should have an investment mindset. So like those are the things that I've seen that are quite obvious to me. But of course, there are other deeper stuff.
Can I
Concerning
quickly
that.
add something to what you just said? Because our time is running out. Uh, so, to add to what you just said, another thing that young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that is just getting started do is this. I've been there myself. Is that especially when you have culture of giving, only giving. You don't know how to ask people for money to pay for your service. We have that culture in Africa. Like people will tell you, "Ah, can you do this for me? Ah, why not? I'm just getting started." Of course, it's good to give away sometimes, but it will get to a time that you have to demand that, okay, I will do it for you, but you have to pay me. We don't know how to ask free. Too much of
Free
free stuff.
free stuff
Yeah.
just to get exposure. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We don't know how to ask for money. So and business is all about making money.
So inability to ask
Yeah.
for something in return for what you give. Yes.
Can I say that if you start already, you already start by putting the price. So don't start already by doing it for free. Can you do that? Like it shouldn't be always monetary, but they should be able to give something. So if you do that, the balance will. Can I?
Yeah, exactly.
They have to know that also that you are a good friend, but you also have family, and you have to live, you have to pay the rent, and feed your kids, everything. So you need money. So you're not just helping. Yeah, just yeah.
Thank you all for coming. We are at the end of this conversation. It was very informative and interesting. I'm sure that those of us aspiring to be full-time entrepreneurs have had, and I know that we've learned from your journey. Thank you all.
On Business Way. Learn. Step-by-step guide to starting a business.